everybody. Welcome to Carry On Accessibility, and we are starting a new series called The Dross Report. And Jared will explain that later. And maybe I should say that I have a guest with me today, known as Tough Bifong.
Yes.
Yes, I'm gonna say Bifong. But
Choosing to say it wrong on purpose. Okay.
yeah, his name is Jared. And
Yes, I am Jared, also known as Tough Beifong online.
Bifong.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Trying to correct me? You don't even get the reference and you're trying to correct me? It's Tough Beifong, okay? That's how you pronounce it correctly. You can say it however you want, I guess.
No,
If you get the
Carrie's correct pronunciation is Bifong, okay? We're all gonna say it that way. Bifong.
Yeah, I guess for people who are allergic to any form of entertainment that's not books or videos, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
If you
Yes.
get the reference, that's great, unless you're like Carrie and who just is allergic to anything that's not books.
Yes, this is something that we've discussed on the Koa Discord, which you guys should totally join. And everybody knows that I like to live under a rock with just books, and I don't really watch a lot of movies or shows,
That's an
except like
understatement.
a very, very few.
I probably count them on one hand.
Let's see. I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But we're just two people who just love books. We're both blind. I guess I still have more vision than Jared. Jared, why don't you tell them like about a little bit about you?
I am completely blind. My eyes are no longer capable of perceiving light, and I've been blind for 7 years now.
Yes, and Jared recommended a series to me called Cradle, which every single one of you who's watching should totally read it because it's amazing and we love it. But today is just the time where we can kind of step away from tech and I don't know, more like the professional accessibility.
Not really tech, because like,
well, I guess so. You're right. You're right.
Because like in order for us to like access books, like kind of revolves around tech.
True. I guess I'm just trying to say this is just going to be a super laid back conversation focused on books. And forgive me if I sound hyper today because I had a lot of coffee and I just finished a venti iced mocha from Starbucks. So
where are you at right now when it comes to the 100 cups?
3. It's only my third. It's only my third. Okay, it's only my third. So Jared sent me this video of some TV show. I don't know. Maybe you guys have watched it. Was it Futurama?
It's called Futurama. Yes,
I got it right. Where like one of the guys drank 100 cups of coffee or something. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you should explain it.
Yeah, his name is Fry, and in this episode, everyone gets a tax rebate, and it's $300, and he decides that and then like people are like saying like, oh, what's that worth? Like 100 cups of coffee. He's like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy 100 cups of coffee. And then he proceeds to buy 100 cups of coffee in a very short amount of time. And he gets like gets like really jittery. He can't go to sleep. He gets insomnia. But by the 100th cup, he drinks his 100th and final cup, and he gains super speed and starts running around like the Flash.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Sure. It's not a book, so it just goes over my head. I don't know.
Don't you want to run around like super fast? Do you be able to do everything super fast? Like you get so much done.
Like to pause time. Can I just pause time? Yeah. So how can blind people even read books, right? This is something that like at least on Uber, there have been a few times where I'm like listening to a book and then they're like trying to talk to me, and I'm just like, yeah, sorry, I'm reading a book. And like, how can a blind person read? I'm like, are you serious? Really? Really? I mean, audiobooks exist for everybody, right? But
Yeah, some people
let's
don't. A lot. Well, actually, I feel like a lot of people don't think before they talk.
yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But I mean, you could use large print, right? Or use a magnifier, maybe like a handheld CCTV or regular CCTV. There's
Mm.
Braille, but not everybody reads Braille,
Yeah, make it so
and
large that even I can see it.
yeah. And especially for me, like for Braille, I'm not fast enough to like actually read a book. Like I tried to read a kid's book that came from like the library, and it was like Junie B and the stupid stinky smelly school bus, something like that for my
Oh, I
son.
remember those books.
And yeah, like it was painful. Like the speed that I read was just painful, and I don't know how my son actually
How
listened to me
how big
for the
was
whole
the
thing.
font?
No, it was Braille. It was
Oh, it
Braille.
was Braille. Okay.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah, but
terrible.
you're still like learning Braille, right?
Um, yeah. See, I know grade one. I'm like
Hmm.
theoretically good at it, but I
Yeah.
just cannot read it quickly. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is
Also,
this?
was it like in contracted Braille or uncontracted?
Oh, I think it was contracted. I think
Contracted,
so.
yeah.
I'm
Usually
not
when they
sure. I don't
print,
remember.
usually when they print most stuff, it's
Mm,
contracted. So it's because like contracted are like as it is already takes up so much space.
yeah, yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, like the I remember the first Harry Potter book in Braille, which is like the smallest out of all of them, and it takes up like several binders. It's ridiculous.
I mean, a large print Bible is like so big, like really large print. And then when you get to the Braille Bibles, it's like a whole bookshelf.
Yeah,
Right?
which makes no sense with the movie Book of Eli because
Mhm.
they it was obviously they didn't consult any blind people, and he was the main character was carrying around like a Bible, but it was in Braille, and it was only one binder or one book, whatever. And then like when I became blind, I found out how much space it took. I was like,
What
that's
is
a lot.
that, one
I
chapter
was
of one book?
yeah, I know.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
like, they didn't consult any blind people in this movie. I love
Yeah.
that movie when I was sighted, but after I became blind, I was like, he would carry around so much more than just that one little bite.
Yeah. I'm just gonna nod along as if I know what you're referencing. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
movie, so I just assumed you wouldn't know. But like the main character, he carries around like what's supposed to be the Bible, but
Mhm.
it's in Braille, and like it's a spoiler because like you don't find out he's blind until the end of the movie because like everyone's been trying to get after this like book. I don't. It's been so long, I don't even remember. But he like the bad guy finally gets the book and then finds out it's in Braille and he can't read it because
Okay.
it's in Braille. And then that's when you found out like he's been blind the whole time.
Yeah.
But like he opens up the one binder and that's supposed to be the whole Bible.
Lol. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's maybe if it was a braille display. You never know. Maybe
No,
maybe it's a binder that was
it was an
actually
apocalyptic
like
movie. Yeah.
but it's a braille display in the shape of a book, you know?
Yeah, no.
It's a refreshable braille book.
That would be interesting, but no, that's definitely not what it was.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, I guess you could use a braille display too, right? To read a book, and I know a lot of
Yeah,
people that do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Mm.
Like I feel like reading it on a braille display could potentially be easier than like a braille book, because at least for me, like I don't know, like reaching up to the top of the book, like I have to extend my arm, which sounds super lazy. But then like I have to move, like I don't know. Um maybe I'm just not used to it, but I feel
That
like a braille display, at least you're like kind of in
sounds
the
like the
flow.
lazy of the lazy.
Whatever. I guess you could also use a screen reader, right? That's how I read a lot of my
Yeah.
fan fiction long ago. I guess this kind of
Oh,
like a
fan
book, right?
fiction. Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like a book. Even though it has like a robotic sort of
Mhm.
voice. I mean, there are
Yeah.
a
I
lot
mean,
better voices
if I
now.
had a choice, I'd go with audiobook over screen reader.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Bookshare, and you can like play the audio
Mhm.
on Bookshare using
Oh,
like a
yeah. Yeah,
TTS
because
engine.
they have the read aloud function.
Yeah. And then what I use most of the time, I don't know about you, Jared, but
Mhm.
I just use audiobooks most of the time.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. So there's Bard, of course, and
Mhm.
Audible, which I spend way too much money on. Even
You and me both. Like, I was actually considering the 24 credit a year plan.
yeah, can I get like 24 credits right now? And like,
Well, they do
what
give it to you. They do give it to you all at once, but then you have to wait till
uh,
the following year, the same time you bought it, to get the next 24
really?
credits.
But
Yeah,
can you still get how they bundle the 3 credits
yeah,
for
you can
like,
still get those.
okay, yeah. Because I
Yeah,
end up getting
yeah.
those.
Because right now I'm on the 12 credit plan, and it's not enough.
Yeah, yeah.
And then like they had a deal, like a promotion going on, like to get the 24 credit plan at a discounted price, and then I procrastinated, and then it was too late for me to take advantage of the deal. I was like, dang it.
Yeah. But did you know that there's actually like audiobooks on Spotify and YouTube?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they put them on there.
Yeah, it's
Some of
annoying.
them.
Yeah,
That's annoying.
it's kind of annoying though, because like because like I don't pay for Spotify Premium, and so the ads interrupt it like
Wait, in
all
the
the time.
books though? Not in the
In everything,
books.
it doesn't matter what it is.
Not in my books.
Really?
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson, like with his secret projects, he didn't want to put it on Audible because what the
Mm,
whole Amazon Audible like issue. Um, so
wait,
he
what issue?
released
I don't know about the issue.
something about like how Audible and Amazon don't treat authors very well. So like
That makes sense.
a lot of authors want to move away from like
Yeah,
Audible. Um,
Amazon treats employees like kind of
yeah.
crappy.
Employees,
Hmm.
third party sellers, authors, art.
Hmm.
Okay, but never mind. This is gonna turn into a Louis Rosman video or something. For anyone. Okay. Um, but yeah, like I gotten his books on Spotify and they don't have ads.
Okay.
And I don't pay for premium.
Okay.
Yeah. They also have it on YouTube and like some podcasts create them, right, too? Yeah. I don't know. Are there any other ways that you get your audiobooks?
No, I've heard of like other things, but I've never really used them. Like Bard Mobile and Audible has been
Mhm.
enough for me. And I've heard of things like Libby and other things where you like get like audiobooks like from like library apps and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've used
But
Libby.
I don't want to deal with that, because like I've heard you have to you have to wait for it to be available, like because someone is like renting out. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, if somebody is renting it out,
Yeah.
then you do have to wait and like,
Mhm.
go on a wait list, but you don't have to pay. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing,
I know,
right?
but I'd rather
But
pay.
you'd rather pay instead of
Yeah,
wait.
or
Okay. Okay.
if I can
I
find
can
it, I'll
respect
just
that.
or if I can find it, I'll find it on Bar Mobile. If
Oh my
not, then
goodness.
I'll go to Audible. This is like
Yeah.
usually what I do.
Yeah, I can respect that. So what are your favorite book genres?
Um,
Mm.
Fiction, basically fantasy and sci-fi for the most part. Like I'll read like nonfiction books every once in a blue moon. Um, it just depends on my interest in them.
Mhm.
Because I think the last like nonfiction book I read was like Trevor Noah's like autobiography. And that was really interesting, and it was free on Bard Mobile, so I was like, heck, why not?
So who's
Um,
Trevor Noah?
he's a comedian, and he was like a host of like a show called The Daily Show on TV.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I'm not surprised you don't know. I saw
I don't know anything.
yeah, me and my friend, we went and saw him live, and it was like so much fun. And like we were both blind, and then um, uh, we got the all the blind privileges because we got to skip all the lines and stuff like that when it came to the concession stands. Um, and it was just like so much fun. And it was my first time being to a comedy show that big, because it was
Mm.
at like one of those like huge like arena type things, and then they have like several levels, and so it was like huge, and then it was one of the most funniest comedy shows I've ever been to.
Oh, yeah, I just watched, where I get my comedy, like, on YouTube Shorts or TikToks, and, like, those, like,
Mm,
1-minute
uh-huh.
snippets.
Yeah.
That's about my fix.
Yeah, that makes sense. That goes with your character. It sounds like you have a short attention span.
And yet, I can still read 40, 50-hour books, and, like, books that, like, how many books were in Cradle? How many books were in Cradle? 12?
12, yes.
And how long are they there? Like 12 hours-ish?
Mhm. Some are less
So,
than some are less
you
than
can't say
10.
that I have a short attention span.
Yeah, but that's when it comes to books. Everything else is just like short attention span. I can't. It's like it doesn't hold my attention long enough.
Not no, that's not true. I could have a 4-hour conversation with people,
Yeah, but that's different
That's
because you're
fine.
engaged, like you're interacting. You're not just like watching something, trying to, pay attention. Interacting with something is totally different.
Well, but I mean, I watched every single episode of Bones.
Of
Like,
Bones.
doesn't
Oh
that count? Doesn't
wow,
that
something you
count? Come
actually
on.
watched. I'm so
Yes, I
surprised.
did watch that one.
And I actually love that show.
I love that show too. My favorite was like Hodgins and Angela. Oh, it was so good. Okay. I think my favorite genres are pretty much aligned with yours. It's like fantasy,
Mhm,
sci-fi, and actually, because of a recommendation right now,
mhm.
I'm reading it's called Exhalation by Ted Chang. Chang? I don't
Uh-huh.
know how to pronounce his name, but it is
Oh,
really, really good so far.
mm.
And it's like
Oh, yeah, I
you.
have to let you know I started reading Rhythm of War.
Oh my gosh. How do you like it? How do you like it
I'm at
so
the
far?
I'm only at the very beginning.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so
Okay,
but yeah,
so
I'm
Rhythm of
starting to
War is
yes.
the fourth book in the Stormlight Archive series by Brandon Sanderson, which
Mm.
will be a 10-book series.
Oh my
He's
god.
writing uh
How
he's writing book
how?
5
The
right
books are
now.
50 hours, 10 of those?
He's writing book 5 right now, and it's going to be like
No wonder
2 sections of the series. So like the first 5 books is one section, and then the 6 to 10 will be another
oh
section. And you
my
got
god.
it
No
is
wonder they
such
take them so long to write because 'cause they're so long.
yes, but it's such a great series. Come on. Don't you agree? Come on. You have
Yes,
to agree
yes,
with
I
me.
do agree, but it's so long. Like, I'm
And
used
you
to
haven't
finish
even read the novellas.
Yeah, I
Did you
know.
you have to read the
I'm used to
novellas.
finishing a book I read, like, in a week or 2, but I'm just like, I'm stuck on this one book for weeks because it's so long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I will get obsessed with a book
Mhm.
and
I
just
noticed especially when it came to Cradle, I was like, "She's tearing through these books." But I felt like I kinda introduced you to it
Mhm.
at the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because, like, you got it at a discount,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that was
and
really
then,
great.
like,
What was it,
it
like 50% off or more? No,
yeah,
70% off. It was 70% off, like, books
yeah,
were 70% off
yeah,
on
so
Audible.
you got all the books on the cheap, and then also the 12th and
And the
final
12th
book
book just
yeah,
came
came
out when
out,
I,
yeah,
like, got it.
I had no idea that was gonna be the last book. And I was like,
It's great.
what?
It was great. I loved it. And I specifically asked you when you recommended it to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, is
Yeah,
this
I
series
remember.
finished? Because
Yeah.
I do like, which is funny because like, you know, I read Brandon Sanderson and he doesn't
Mhm.
have like all his series finished. But like I just but Brandon Sanderson, he just writes like he's like he's like just this machine that writes. So I kind of trust that he'll finish books. But like, I mean, look at Game of Thrones. Where's the rest of the books? Like, I don't trust authors. Like, a lot
Yes.
of authors, I don't trust them. It's like,
Yeah, so
I'll
many
read your books when
people
you're
are
done.
afraid that he's gonna die before he finishes.
Yes, yes. Which will be sad. We'll just have the movie ending. I don't know, or the show
Oh
ending,
no,
which I did not
I didn't
watch.
even finish the
I
last
didn't watch.
season.
Really?
Yeah,
Like, if I was going to watch a series, it has to be good. Like, I don't know, I have to be engaged with it.
it was really funny though because I heard everyone complaining about it, and I heard everyone complaining about like how dark it was, and I'm just like, it looks fine to me.
It is dark. Did you read the books? Did you read the books though?
No,
Ah.
I read the first book, but I kept on falling asleep so much because of the narrator.
That is.
He just put me to sleep, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't listen to this." I was able
Did
to
you read
finish
it on
the.
Bard?
I think so, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I tried it because like that was when I first went to the school for the blind, like 6 years ago, something like that, and then they gave me access to Bard, and I was just like, oh, I'll try Game of Thrones, and then I kept on falling asleep so constantly. I was like, after I finished the first book, I was like, okay, I can't take this. I'm just like falling asleep.
Yeah, that was me with Lord of the Rings. With all the pauses to like have this 20-page, I don't know how long it was, like
Yeah, yeah, I know.
20-page poem. I'm like, really now? I did get through it though. I got through it
Yeah.
amazingly. I actually
Mhm.
read The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I probably would have been able to read the books if I hadn't watched the movies first. Because I
See,
watched I because like I
funny.
hadn't I watched The Lord of the Rings as a kid because my parents loved those books, and they were really interested in the movies, so they took me and my brother to watch those movies as kids, and me and my brother loved them, and then I tried reading the books, and compared to the movies, like the movies are really fast paced, and then the
Mm.
books are so slow and so long, and I couldn't even get past the introduction, because like I got to the part where Bilbo had left, and Frodo stayed in Shire for years. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this? And then I just stopped. I was like, okay, no, never mind.
Oh my goodness. So it's been like 20 minutes and I totally forgot that we're live streaming because I'm just like so into this conversation. And so like I haven't even looked at the live chat. So
Yeah, go
hello
ahead. Yeah.
Addison and Mackenzie. Mackenzie says, "Hey guys, I made it just in time. I'm in waiting for dinner to finish cooking and I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten
Okay.
yet. So you're making me hungry, Mackenzie.
I ate before this,
Oh
and
really?
I knew I was gonna want to eat before this, so I did.
Yeah. I I don't know what I want. I'm trying.
You were too busy consuming coffee.
Actually, right before this, I was recording a video.
Yeah, and consuming your coffee.
uh, uh, Julio is here. Hi, Carrie. First time joining you live. What topic are you covering today? So yeah, we're just having a fun conversation
About
about
books.
books,
Books.
and
Yeah.
I guess Jared keeps talking about movies and shows that I have no
Well, a
idea
lot of
about.
movies are
Mhm.
related to books.
Yeah.
I can't
Uh
help
huh.
it.
Sure.
So are
Sure.
shows as well.
Mackenzie says I hate reading Braille. I also hate having to read out loud when reading Braille. Oh, you read out loud, like yeah, that's so hard to
Oh,
read. Like, and
yeah.
yeah, that's so hard.
I had a roommate that was like that. When he would read out loud. I hated it.
The thing
Oh,
is, though, like I have seen people read Braille, and I'm
mhm.
just like, it's faster than how like my mom reads like text, and she cited, and I'm like, how do you do that.
Yeah, that kind of
How can
reminds
you read
me.
Braille that fast?
That kind of reminds me of my girlfriend because she was born blind, right? And she actually uses the slate and stylus faster than a brailler because like
That
she's so used to
feels impossible.
she's so used to
That
using the slate and stylus, and she used it for years in Vietnam before she came here. And the first time she was introduced to it was
oh
here
my
in the US.
gosh, I have
Yeah, and
never heard
so now
that.
she's so used to the slate and stylus that she prefers the slate and stylus over a brailler. I'm just
I,
like, what?
I
I was
am
like,
lost for
that sounds.
words.
I was like, that sounds crazy. I'm like, a brailler is so much faster. She's like, yeah, but I'm used to slate and stylus, and she's like, it's actually faster for me to use a slate and stylus rather than a brailler. I'm like, that's insanity. I could never.
She has blown my mind. Like I'm just like, what? Wow. Okay, that's incredible. Mackenzie says, no wonder why Bibles in Braille are so gosh darn expensive. Yes. It's because like you're purchasing a
Yeah.
whole library. That's
And it
what you're
takes up
doing.
so much time and material.
Yes. Yes, it really does. That's a lot of paper.
Hmm.
And then Mackenzie also says, using his eloquence with reading. No, no. Do not use eloquence if you're
Sounds
gonna
like
be
you're one of the
reading
few
books
people who
using
doesn't like
eloquence.
eloquence.
No, no, no. Okay, so we have to talk about this one. Because let me tell you, my dad, he scanned a lot of my books when I was going through school, like in middle high school, and I used eloquence to read my
Mm.
textbooks and like any reading material that we had. Like I used eloquence. I liked it.
Yeah, I know so many blind people who love like eloquence
Mm.
and they try to get it like on all their devices. Like when my girlfriend found out that you could get eloquence on like Apple devices and she wanted to put it on her iPad and everything like that. And I was like, why?
Eloquence is great. Mackenzie eloquence. Okay, everybody who likes eloquence, you guys have to write. The eloquence is really long.
I mean, I don't
Write yes in the live chat. There you go.
I
Yes,
mean,
yes, eloquence.
I don't mind it, but I don't really care for it either.
I grew up with eloquence. Like
Yeah,
my
so that's
dad is a screen reader
understandable.
user, and
Mhm.
so that's the voice that I always heard as a child. Before that, deck talk. Like
Wait, what?
deck talk.
Oh, I've never heard of that one.
You know how they have like some of those TTS engines like
Mhm.
sing really?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
like that voice.
Oh god.
It was great. It was great, man. I loved it. Oh my goodness, it was great. I still use eloquence for NVDA now, but I would not use it for to read a book. I
Mhm.
used it to read a lot of fan fiction though, like a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction. I used to read
Oh,
so much of that, and like I read that with eloquence. Yeah,
yeah,
that was great.
yeah. Like fan fiction needs a read aloud function.
I know, right? Like they have that. Like it should just be built in.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised now when I come across a read aloud function and
Yeah, they
um
have it like on articles and stuff now. A lot of the time.
mhm. Yeah. Like actually one of the research things I did for like the Google Trusted Tester program, like they
Hmm.
had me checking like these like libraries, but they wanted me to do it on my phone. I was like, why? Um
Mm, I
and
don't know.
yeah, but yeah, I did it on my phone. And then it was funny because like I noticed the read out loud function. I was like, "Oh, you guys have a read aloud function." I was like, "This is awesome." And then I told them why I preferred like the read aloud function rather than
Yeah.
my screen reader and everything. And she told me the researcher, she was like, "You're the first one to ever use that." I was like, "Wait, really?"
Really? Wow. No, I love the read aloud feature, and
Mhm.
I love it when you can like listen to something while doing something else.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Like, I mean, and I will do that. Like,
Oh,
that's why I use Edge for
okay.
the read aloud, and then
Mhm.
I will still be using NVDA with something else, and I don't know how I do it, but like I can like be writing something in like Google Docs while like listening to an article. So I don't know. I
Yeah,
that's just what I do.
most of the time I'm either listening to like an
Mm.
audiobook or show or movie or something like that, and then I'll be doing something else like that. Especially if like I'm, cooking or doing something else like that. I'll be in the kitchen and
Yeah.
I'll just
See,
connect. I'll just connect it to my speaker, and then I'll just like play it through that, and I'll do that while I'm doing whatever.
so I can do things like physical things like
Mhm.
dishes and cooking and folding clothes while listening to a book, but I cannot like work while listening to books because I just get too invested in the book, or I
Mm,
lose my focus and I'm like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? I
yeah.
have to like rewind
Rewind,
because
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend who tries to do that where she'll like try to listen to an audiobook and do something else at the same time, but she can't do it because if she's not like actively like focusing on the book, she
Yeah.
misses like so much stuff.
But like I mean, like while I was stuck and obsessed with the Cradle series and going
Mhm,
through the whole thing in like what did it take me like 2-3 weeks? I don't know. Like I don't know
mhm,
how long maybe not even that long. I have no idea. I
mhm.
just totally lost like sense of time honestly
I
during
I
that time.
remember. I
And then
remember.
I remember I sent you a message. I'm like, this is your fault. I can't work because I am reading this book. I cannot work. It's your fault.
It's not my fault you have control issues,
You just have
self-control issues.
denial issues, okay? Just denial issues.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Julio, to answer your question, the person with me, this is Jared or Mr. Bifong.
Yeah, I'm Jared, also online known as Tough Beifong.
Bifong.
Beifong, yeah.
Bifong. Say it with me. Come on, guys.
I am listen.
Bifong.
It's a reference to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Carrie has no idea what she's talking about. I don't know why she keeps on insisting on saying it the wrong way. There is a right way and a wrong way, and she's insisting on saying it the wrong way.
No, I'm saying it the right way. It's the
No, you're
correct way.
not. Just because that was how you read it the very first time you read it, does not mean it's the right way.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
um, Anexus asks, at what speed do you both listen to audiobooks?
It depends on the audiobook. Right now, for me it depends on the narrator. Like right now, since I'm listening to Rhythm of War, like I increased the speed. I mean, it's like at like 1.8 right now, and I'm thinking of like increasing it more. Um, because like he kind of narrates, the it's like narrated kind of slowly. Um, and I've been increasing the narration speed more recently though. So like even when I was re-listening to the Cradle books, I guess it was easier though because it was my second time listening to the series. So like I increased the narration speed like there to like 1.6.
Yeah. So there was a time where I only ever listened to audiobooks at regular speed or 1x.
Mhm.
Um but I have this thing where and Jared knows this that
Mhm.
when I get to a part that's suspenseful or something's going on and I can't handle it and sometimes I just have to pause.
My god, it's so annoying.
Like, and I do the same thing with movies, and that's why I can't watch movies because it's like too much for me. Like a lot of times, just too much for me. I will pause it and I drive everybody crazy. I'm like, I can't watch it, and I will like, I'm like that 5-year-old kid that runs out of the room and is like, "Is it done? What happened? What happened?"
And
And
it
so
makes me wonder, I don't know how you got through some bugs, because like Wheel of Time, for example, like, a lot of those characters just died. I'm like, "How do you get through that if you can't handle, like, things happening to character?"
you pause it, and you're like, breathe. Sometimes it's a break of a few seconds. Sometimes it's a break of 1 minute. Sometimes it can
It's
be like a few
so
hours, and
it's so
sometimes it can be a
ridiculous.
few days.
In order for it to be like a good
Mm.
book, the character has to go through struggles. So of course stuff's
Yes,
gonna
and I
happen to
love
them.
it, but I just can't read it.
When you were telling me that, like when you were listening to Cradle and the main character went through one of his like hardest struggles, and you had to
Oh my
fast forward it to
gosh.
make sure he was okay. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous." Just listen
No. I
to
didn't fast forward it. I increased the
it. The
speed.
speed.
Yes, I made it like at what, 2x, at
Uh-huh.
least 2x,
Uh-huh.
maybe 2.5, like
Mhm.
occasionally 3, and then I would rewind after I like
It's
found out. I'd be like,
so
wait, let me.
ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Now you guys know about me.
Also, she is a cheater. She cheats so much and spoils books. It's ridiculous. Okay, it's like
I'm resourceful.
loves looking up spoilers. It annoys me to no end. I'm
It's
just
so
like,
funny.
it ruins the surprise. I don't know why you do that to yourself.
I tried to like look up YouTube videos and
Uh-huh.
that talked about like but the frustrating thing is like a lot of booktube, or like the section of YouTube that talks about books, they don't like spoilers, and I'm just like, just tell me what happens. I just want to know
No,
what
no,
happens.
no. You need to be surprised. That's like it's like so much better when you get to that point and you're like, what? Get that surprise moment. It's so good.
But 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 I need to know that everybody's okay.
Yeah, you'll know when you get there, like you're supposed to when you properly read a book.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't. It's just the way that I am, and it's just the way I get through books, okay?
Mhm, mhm.
Okay.
Otherwise known as a cheater.
No, I'm just being resourceful, like I told you.
Uh-huh.
Resourceful.
Uh-huh.
It's a
You're
good
not
thing. It's a good
you're
character trait.
you're not Lyndon, okay? You're not going to battle in a fight, okay?
Hey.
It's not like your life is on the line.
Yes, it is. My heart is on the line. My soul is on the line. I am deeply invested in these characters.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I maybe that's a problem, but that's okay. I like this problem.
You like this problem?
Yes.
So basically, you're just enabling yourself, your own habits.
Mhm. We'll go with that. It's okay. You guys will still love me for who I am, right? Right? Come on.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I think I had too much coffee. Okay. Danny
For you,
Acosta.
I don't think there's no anything,
You're just waiting for the day where I'm like, Jared, I had 100 cups of coffee. Help me. That's
Look,
what you're waiting
I'm
for.
waiting for the time. I'm waiting for it when you become a speedster and run around and everything around you slows down.
I broke time, everybody. I broke time. Oh, on a side note, I like on TikTok, there's like a lot of advertisements for mud water. And I just really
Okay.
want to know if anybody has ever tried it, because like all the people were talking about how instead of drinking coffee, they started drinking mud water. I'm like, it's made from mushrooms, guys. It's impossible that it tastes good. I don't know.
No,
I do want to try
you
it
can't
though. I
say that
wish.
until you actually try it.
I mean, I do want to try it, but I don't want to buy a whole thing just to try it. That's my problem.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, Danny Acosta official says, "Hey Carrie, I just finished my audiobook in English and Spanish. I would love to donate it to your community. Blindly Painting Words of Love, a Poet's Adventure. It's a romantic Christian poetry. You know what? That would be awesome. I'd love to read it. So sometimes I do read some poetry, like, and I actually also occasionally write it too, but it's not good
Ooh.
poetry. No.
No, yeah, it's out there. It's out there. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need that poetry, Carrie. Now, okay?
Well,
You're gonna
I
need to start
do.
another segment, poetry with Carrie on accessibility.
How about no? No, that's okay. That's okay. I
Yeah,
guess I'll
we're
just.
gonna do online, online, poetry slams with Carrie.
I in school I loved it because we had like this thing like a poetry out loud, and I loved it. Like everybody in school was like, "Oh, it's poetry. This is stupid." Blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I love this. And I specifically chose like a super long poem because I was like, yes, I love this thing. I don't remember what I chose, honestly. I think I tried to do The Spider and the Fly, but I don't remember.
Mhm.
I don't remember. But anyway, I, I do have a personal writing blog, which I only
Mm.
occasionally like add. So if you guys are interested, it's
Yes,
um
very much so.
I think it's I don't even know the link. TheRamblingBovine.blogspot.com. Yeah, something like that. You guys can see if you can find it. But yeah, I posted it on Discord before. So if you guys aren't on Discord, yeah, then y'all should join. So I think I posted the link somewhere there.
Are you talking
um,
about in the chilling out chat?
I don't know. I think I wrote it in the writer's corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But the thing is, I a lot of the things I write and then I like private them. I'm like, oh, this is really terrible. This is
What's the point
terrible.
of sharing them? Just private them.
And then I was going through my files and I found like these little snippets of writing. And the thing is, like, I'm really great at starting things and like I have great ideas, but like writing a whole story or like when I was little, I wanted to write a series, you know?
Yeah.
It's just too hard. I'm just gonna make YouTube videos. That's so much easier. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
apparently it just like because like I have a friend who wants to do writing as well, but and she knows how the story wants to she knows how she wants to start it and how it wants to end, but she doesn't know how to fill in all the middle part.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she's talked to people who have like written books, and they're like, you just gotta start writing, just like
Mm,
start it,
yeah.
and like
I'm great at starting,
yeah, and then
and
like
that's it.
but just you gotta like you gotta put time into it, and then like keep writing, and then
Mhm.
you can make your edits where you need to and everything, and then eventually everything will like come together, and it's like how a lot of like authors apparently do it.
See, the thing is, I have the whole story in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and it just takes way too long to like write it down. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna imagine it, and then that's good enough for me.
Sounds like excuses to me.
I don't know. Maybe one day I can make ChatGPT write the book for me.
Oh
Can
my god.
you can
That
you take my thoughts and write this in a book? Thanks.
Oh, so I got both ChatGPT and Google Bard to write original stories about blind superheroes.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
tell them about this. Tell them. Go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. Bard's was interesting, but it's like a gamed amnesia halfway through, because the character was blind, and then like it was like Daredevil. They were like Daredevil, but they were like Daredevil. But then during a battle, they got hit with some kind of attack, and they went blind in the traditional sense.
Mm.
But then it said they gained their sight back, as if they weren't born blind. And I'm like, what sight? They never had sight in the first place. Um, and then like so that was really interesting. Oh, and then I did like the superhero name, because the superhero name it came up with Night Vision.
Night vision.
Yeah.
That's
um
hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Chat GPT was like I can't remember what the name of the superhero was, but it did come up with a really interesting superpower because this character was also born blind, but they had like a sidekick, and it was a guide dog named Max, and that was their sidekick. And but their superpower was that they were able to see through everyone else's eyes but their own, and that's like they
That's
had like
really
on the,
interesting.
yeah, I was
That's
like, oh, that's
super
so I was like,
interesting.
that's interesting.
So does the dog also, it's not able to see through
No,
somebody else, or
no, it was his guide dog, so it could
so
see
he could see through the
through the
guide
dog.
dog's
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, but he could like access like uh anything with eyes, like so like say he needed a bird's eye view, like he could access a bird's vision and see
But he
through their
couldn't
eyes.
control where the bird went, right? So he
It
just kind
didn't
of like,
the story didn't say that. It just like said that
oh,
he was
okay.
able to see
Somebody needs
through.
to write a book on that. That'd be so cool.
But I was like, that's actually interesting. Like that's an interesting superpower
Yeah. Yeah. I think so
for a blind superhero
too.
anyway.
Yeah. Mackenzie says it could have been worse. You could have had to hear Keynote Gold. Read it. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, me either.
And Danny Acosta official says yes. So that has to be eloquence. At least I have one supporter over here. Mackenzie says Ivona Sally is better. And then Anexus said, I dislike eloquence with a passion. It irritates me. And do you know any screen reader accessible places where you can post fan fiction? This is a good question for Joker X Alice. I don't know. There's a person on our Discord though, and she writes fan fiction. She reads a lot of it, and so she also has a YouTube channel, so you could totally reach out to her. She's the only one that I know of. Mackenzie also says, whoever else hates eloquence, will you just use Ava? Or does Ava irritate? I don't like Ava. I don't like Ava. That is the last voice I will choose. Like on like if it's a vocalizer voice, like I'll use Nathan, I'll use Tom, I'll use Serena, I'll use I'd rather use Samantha than Ava. What about you? What's your favorite vocalizer voice?
I don't remember what it's called. I just know that um, all the voices I use except for the one on my computer, because for NVDA I use David, but on my phone, with Samsung, it's like a British voice, female British voice, and then it's the same thing on VoiceOver on my iPad. It's like some female British voice, and it's like one of those like um, enhanced voices. I can't remember which one. Yeah.
Gotcha. You know what they really need? I wish we could use the Microsoft Azure voices, like, wait, what's her name?
Oh yeah,
Aria and Jenny
yeah.
and Guy.
Yeah,
I love Guy's voice.
yeah. I was like that. When you did that video on that, I was like, oh, these voices sound really nice. I wish I could use them on anything else.
Yeah. The only place I really use those voices is in read aloud, because that's, besides narrator, you can use it on read aloud. Oh my goodness. Have you tried the read aloud feature on Edge?
No.
You should just try it and change it to the Filipino voice. It's
God.
hilarious. It seriously is hilarious. Like, I played it for my mom and dad, and they're just like, "Stop it! Turn that off."
No, I don't really use Microsoft Edge. I use Chrome.
Yeah, I mostly use Chrome. Like I said, the only reason time I use Edge is like for PDFs and for the read aloud.
It's weird. Adobe started acting up for me like the last week, and it
Mhm.
opened up a PDF in a way I've never encountered before. Um, and I was just like, "What is this?" Because it is like one day it opened it like it always does, and
Mhm.
then I opened another PDF that same day later that day, and then um, it just opened it in a way that I'd never encountered before. Like before, like there were like headings and everything like that, and I was like going through like normal. And then the second PDF I opened, it opened it up where it didn't like as if there were no headings, and then it would just like
Mhm.
scroll through like they were like pages and they were like
Weird.
separated almost. And I was like, what is
Hmm.
this? Like, why is it opening this way? I don't. But also, like, I talked to my coworkers later, and then everyone is having trouble with opening PDFs in Adobe, and it was really weird.
Yeah, I just end up using Edge. But soon, like, Google's working on this, using like OCR on Chrome
Mm,
for
yeah.
PDFs, which would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I remember reading a news article that they had like a breakthrough with their OCR.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful for that. Anexus says, an Avatar The Last Adventure fan. Awesome. The
Yes.
series is
Yeah.
basically flawless. Is it
Yes.
a book? I'll read
There
it.
are books, but it doesn't focus on the characters that the show
Aww.
introduces. Which is really sad
Aww.
because the show has one of the best blind characters ever written. That's why I love her so much.
Oh, it's a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Oh my god. Of course not.
No, I totally didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to give you like so in Avatar the Last Airbender, like people like bend elements, so like
Mhm.
earth, water, air, fire. Um and like it's like, a natural part of their world and everything like that. And the blind girl, her name is like Toph Beifong. I have it as Tough Beifong because it's a reference to a specific episode.
Mhm.
But Toph, she is an earthbender, and she learns to use her earthbending in a special way, because she is able to like sense things through the ground.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how like she sees the world, is like she senses like the tremors, like say someone takes a step on the ground and she can feel those tremors
Mm.
like through the ground, and because of her practice in earthbending. And But the thing is, like, the way they introduce her is like her parents like treat her like how the majority of society treats disabled people. Like they treat her like that she's like so delicate, like she can't do anything, and so she has to hide who she is from her parents.
Oh,
Yeah, so like, and that's
yeah.
just kind of like her introduction. But yeah, like her character holds like a special place in my heart. That's why I love that show and that character like so much. And she's my favorite like representation of a blind character in anything.
One day I'll watch it. One day.
Yeah.
I think I like watched like one or half an episode when I was like
Hmm.
super young, like on Cartoon Network, maybe
And Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Okay, well,
Yes.
whatever it was, I don't know, something, and I'm just like,
Yes.
oh, what is
It was
this?
on it
And
was
then
on Nickelodeon.
okay,
And Yeah, and then also the like Toph
so that's why I didn't have it, because we only had Nickelodeon for like, I don't know, very short time.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Nickelodeon, and also Toph doesn't get introduced until the second season.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
See,
you have to make it through the first, but still, like, it's a great show, just like overall.
one of the reasons I really like Brandon Sanderson is the way he depicts a lot of disabilities and like
Hmm.
mental illness
Yeah,
um
he does do that really well.
so well. And I'm waiting for him to do a blind person, because he's done somebody with depression, right?
Yeah.
He's done somebody with a physical disability,
Hmm.
which I don't think you know yet.
Well, the guy with the missing arm. but he got his
Oh
arm back.
well, yes, but there's somebody else that's even more so. Yeah, go read the novellas. And then he's done like people with hearing impairments and deaf. Like, oh my gosh, you guys have to read Tress of the Emerald Sea, and you need to read that. I sent you the book. Read it, please. Please, it's so good. It's like The Princess Bride, and yes, I did watch that movie, by the way.
Wow, something else you actually know. No, wow.
It's inspired by The Princess Bride, but like
Okay. Well, I
completely.
love that movie.
It's kind of different though.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon wrote it to his wife Emily.
Okay.
And
So,
my sister, who does not like fantasy, loved the book.
What's
Okay.
the name of the book?
Tress of the Emerald Sea. I sent it to you.
Oh, I forgot.
And it has a deaf character. It's so good. It's just so good. And it's told in like it's Wit telling the story. It's Wit from Stormlight Archive. It's Wit telling the story. So you know it's gonna be good.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be so good. Go read it. And you know, if you haven't read any Brandon Sanderson books, this is a great place to start. It's like it's a what do you call it? A novella. So
Okay.
yeah. Yep. It's so good. It's so good. Can you guys tell that I just love books? Like
Yeah. No, we can't tell at all. No idea.
I wish I could like get it for every single person and just make them read books. The books that are like
force people to read.
This book, please read it. Blinto says, "Hello, green is still better than pink." Wrong.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Yes.
Mackenzie, who uses the A Lady to read their books? Occasionally I'll put an Audible book like on there, but not super often. And oh, I can't say that. Never mind. Yeah, but soon we'll be. Yeah, never mind. I didn't say anything. Never mind. I didn't say anything, right? Nope, nothing. Okay, Blaito says Wheel of Time didn't get past the first couple of chapters. Yeah, see, you have to really delve into like maybe 100 hours of the Wheel of Time before.
Yeah.
But actually, as a kid, I loved it.
I loved it. The longest series I've ever read.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved it so much. Wheel of Time was like how I got into fantasy. I think I was in middle school. It was after the Extreme Makeover, and they, for a little while, it was like heaven on earth because like we had unlimited Audible credits. And then they totally took away that real fast, probably because I was like spending them like crazy. But anyway, it's probably my fault. I don't know. And I got every single Wheel of Time book, and it was so good. It was so good. Blind Toe says, "Don't forget a coffee addict." Addict. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's definitely Carrie.
No, I'm not. I just love coffee. I'm not addicted. No. Alexa says,
all believe that.
Looking for spoilers is not cheating. It's fun. Okay, you're gonna be my friend. Yeah, you see, it's not cheating. Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That's so true.
Now we have two cheaters.
Nope. We just like to have fun.
Fun by cheating. And spoiling the story for yourselves.
It's very wholesome.
Yeah, cheating is very wholesome. Make sure to teach that to your son.
It's so funny because Joseph has the same problem I do. It's like where it gets really stressful, and he's sick, so like I totally get it. But when it's stressful, he's like he does like he pauses the book and will not want to continue it. It's just so funny. He's getting older and he's like getting better at it, and I'm like, I wish I could get better at it.
Yeah, sounds like he has like a lot of your mannerisms. Obsession with pushing buttons. along with other things.
Oh, hush you. Blinda says looking for spoilers is understandable if you're not gonna watch the movies or read the books. No, but it's
No, but
also
she does.
understandable
That's the
when
thing.
you're
She does
going to
read the
read the
books,
book.
and she spoils it for herself while she's reading the book.
It's so funny though because I was reading all the spoilers that I could find on the series that Jared recommended, Cradle, and then there was this one part that like the wiki was wrong. And I'm like, what? What happened
Yeah,
here?
well, that's why you don't
It
really
betrayed me.
That's why you don't really use Wikipedia, because like
It's
people
not
can go.
Wikipedia though. Like it's like
Yeah.
the fan wiki
Yeah,
pages.
but even so, people can go in there and edit it at any time they want.
Okay. But where else am I gonna get it? Reddit? It's so hard to dig for information there.
Stop cheating.
No, I cannot, and I will not. I refuse to stop cheating. It's not cheating.
Or stop using Wiki.
I am researching. It's called research. Okay. It's
Yeah,
research.
you can do research after you're done with the series or the book.
Alexa says, it's okay. I enable you too, Carrie. We'll enable each other.
Yeah, everyone enables some part of Carrie's like bad habits.
Mackenzie says, ew, mud water? No. I know, like, who came up with this name, mud water? Like, is that like the shock factor that they're like banking on? I don't know.
I'll give it a try.
Binto says, don't follow the TikTok trends. But I just want to know. I just want to know. You know, just like the research. It's part of
if you
research.
Want to know? Try it out then.
Like, I want to get Mr. Beast, like what do you call it? The chocolate thing. The
the Beastables. I want to try those too.
Feastables.
Yeah,
Feastables. Yeah, there you go. And I want to try each one and like taste it. Like I just want to taste it.
Yeah. Like they sell them in stores now. You can find them at Walmart and Target and stuff.
I wanted to get like the whole pack from the Feastables website because like I just want to taste each one and not get a 10 pack.
Okay, yeah.
And not everything's available at like the Walmart near me, so yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to try that.
Anexus says, I occasionally write poetry as well. I usually publish it on my blog. Oh, cool. You should send me your blog. Mackenzie
and then
says,
Carrie can send her blog.
After I find it, like the link. How can I join your Discord server? So in the description of every one of my videos, it has a link to the Discord server. And yeah, you can just click on that and it should walk you through it. I will say Discord is really, really annoying because sometimes like the CAPTCHAs are just like a pain in the butt. And to be honest, like I've used like Ira. And I'm like, can you just tell me which picture is what and like what I should be selecting? And so that's kind of how I go around that. Like they have like the accessibility cookie, but it doesn't always work.
That's interesting because I only ever remember having to deal with the CAPTCHA like once on Discord, and
that was like when once you log in, right? Like once you the first time.
Well, I don't remember doing that like when I first logged in. I just remember it wanting me to do that when it made us change our usernames or whatever. And that was when it asked me to do it, and then I noticed there was the link for like accessibility, and that's when I went through that whole thing, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this even existed.
Yeah, there's like an accessibility something or other, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and I would recommend doing it on desktop and not on mobile.
Which is funny because I watched a YouTube short of someone who couldn't complete a CAPTCHA, and they were like, I guess I'm a robot because I said I can't complete the CAPTCHA, and I was like, if they think this is hard, like I left a comment on the video saying if they think this is hard, they should try the audio version.
Well, yeah. The audio, like, I hate the audio version. It's like I can't understand it. I'm like,
I know. That's the problem.
Like, it was really they make it too hard.
someone replied to that comment, like, "What are you talking about?" They had no like it's like they had no idea what the audio alternative was. I'm just like, I was just like, how do you not know about this?
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. But the thing is that Discord itself is
Mhm,
really accessible. It's pretty accessible, like with
mhm,
NVDA, with TalkBack, with iOS. Sometimes there can be some like a few bugs here and there, but like
mhm.
I, there's so
Yeah,
many people that use it.
one thing I noticed lately
Mm.
is like on my Samsung phone sometimes like um it won't read messages from like certain
Really?
people. Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
one thing I noticed on iOS is if I have the keyboard open, it
mhm.
crashes. Like
Oh,
I have to close
really?
the keyboard.
Uh,
Yeah.
it won't do that for me. But like the I hate I hate iOS dictation. I know that much, but it's always like easier for me to read messages on my iPad. But on
Mm.
Samsung, like it doesn't read like all the messages, and I don't know if it's because like it's from like messages with from people who are using like an Apple device or something like that. But like
Mm.
there's some people I know that they're using an Apple device and like it wouldn't read those messages, but it was able to read like messages from like other people. I'm like, what? So I'm like, so why is it reading these messages but not other messages? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Has it always done that? Or is that
No,
like lately?
it just started doing that
Weird.
recently.
Maybe
It was
it's like
really
with all
weird.
the Discord updates. They update a lot, like really
Yeah, they
frequently.
do. That could be it as well. Because
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know why it's reading these messages
Yeah.
but not these messages. It's so weird.
Like when they introduced the voice messages, there were like bugs
Mhm.
around that, but they fixed it. So I feel like,
Yeah.
hopefully they'll fix it.
Although the voice messages on my phone have never worked for me.
Really? What do
Yeah,
you mean?
but it works on the iPad.
That's so weird. It works on my
Mhm.
Samsung.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
like, but, like, I've tried using it, like, multiple times, it's never worked. I'm like, "This
Like
is
when
weird."
you use your iPad, what do you do? Like what's your gesture once you're on the button?
Oh, I just double click on it, and then like, and it's, and then, like, because 'cause
Um,
I'll hear, "Start recording," and then after I hit like, I double click on it, I can talk, and then when I'm done, I just hit send message.
okay, so I guess I would just have been so used to it since like I started using Telegram, but what I do is actually double tap and hold and then swipe up.
Mm.
Yeah, and it locks
Oh, wait,
it.
so that's what you do on your Samsung phone?
Yes, or you can
Oh,
double tap
okay.
and hold for however long um you're recording, if I remember
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
Because on my iPad, I just double tap on it and then it starts
Mm,
recording, and then when I hit send
yeah.
message, it'll send it. But
Yeah.
I was trying to hit record message and then it wouldn't do anything. I was
Yeah,
just
you
double
have to
tapping on
like
it.
because when you're not using talkback
Mhm.
or voiceover, you like press and hold it,
Mm,
or you press and hold and then like lock it in place by like swiping away from the button.
hmm,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Okay. But back to the live chat. And Nexus says, I'm a discovery writer, so starting to write is what I need. It's how I wrote my first book. Oh, you wrote a book. That's so cool. I always wanted to write a book. The most exhausting part was self-publishing. So I've heard a lot of stories about that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I like have you heard of Daniel Green?
Daniel Green, no.
Daniel Green? He's like a booktuber.
Okay, yeah.
And they call him like the disheveled goblin or something like that. But he like does fantasy news and he like talks about like sci-fi fantasy kind of like books and stuff
Okay.
like that. Yeah. He
Mhm,
had interviews with like Brandon Sanderson, and like
mhm.
he even did an interview with my favorite narrators, or one of my favorite narrators, Kate Redding and Michael Kramer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
so good. And I even like, oh my gosh, I geeked out so much. I like fangirled so much because like I wrote like a tweet or something, and then like about that interview with Michael Kramer and Kate Redding. I didn't know they were married. But like I mentioned them in the tweet, and then they responded, and I'm like, it was like really cool. You know, like when
That reminds me of like when voice actors are married and they're in the same show.
mm,
Like there's this anime and the English dub version, a Full Metal Alchemist like Brotherhood. Like the husband, the voice actor, he played he was the voice actor for a character named the Flame Alchemist,
mhm.
and his wife played a villain, and he ended up killing his wife in the
Oh
show.
my
It was
gosh.
hilarious.
That is just too funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like cracking up when I found out that the two voice actors were married. I was like, oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, I love it. I love when they do books together. Like they do Stormlight, they
Mhm.
do like the other one, the Stormlight Archive. I love how Kate Redding does pattern. She does so good. No, Nate. Sorry, reference.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really like audiobooks that do more than one narrator, and then
Yeah,
like they have like
I
a
like
higher
that.
production value. That's why one of the reasons I love on Audible The Sandman so much,
The
because it
Sandman.
has like it has one of the highest production values I've ever like heard in an audiobook, because they have
Mm.
music, sound effects, and
Oh,
li-
oh, what
like
is the thing called? Like something audio, and then they have like voice actors and stuff.
mhm.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. This specific audiobook, like or series on Audible, like they get
Mm-hmm.
like celebrities to do the voice acting for all the characters and the narrator
That's
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Like
can't remember.
every time I heard like a voice I recognized, oh, I was like, oh, that's whoever. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it so much. I write. Alexa says I write fantasy with blind characters. Oh, that's so much
Yes.
fun. The magic is a separate entity from them, so it sees and tells them what it sees. That's really interesting. I would love to read like I've been getting into more like short stories. Like I think I'm all seriesed out for a little while, and so
Oh
I'm like
no,
into
not me. I
short
will never
stories
get
right
tired of
now.
series.
No, no,
I
no, no, no. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm gonna stop. I'm just taking a little break from it. You know.
No, like the thing is, like when I come over across like a short story, I just like skip it because I'm like, no, this isn't worth my time.
Really? No, there's
No,
some good short stories.
no, I want it longer.
Oh,
I want
come
it to take up
on.
my time. I'm like, I need something longer.
I'm gonna find you like 100-hour book, and it's gonna be like a series with like 50 books, and each of them are like 100
Hey,
hours.
well, I like one genre of books I've really gotten into is they're called literary RPGs, um
Yeah, like
and
RPGs.
so like one of the series I've gotten into is like He Who Fights with Monsters, and it's on book 10 with no end in sight. And I'm just like, I wonder how long this series is going to go on for.
Mhm.
And there's another series kind of like that, and I'm on the second series uh, of of it, because like the first series was like called Nova Terra, and it's like that same literary RPG, and like that first series ended, and then it continued on into a second series still with the same main character. I'm like, ooh, I'm loving
Mm.
this. Uh,
Are they 40-hour books? Or they're like 10?
no, I'd say they're less than 20 hours.
Oh,
Some
okay.
Most of them are. Some of them, are longer. It depends on when you get to those books. But yeah, I love them. And also like the main character, he's also like disabled. He kind of reminded me of Lyndon. Um,
Lyndon,
yeah,
Lyndon. I was so tempted to just
yeah.
call you Lyndon
He-
when I introduced you.
and I'll just call you Mercy.
Okay. If you guys don't know what that is, you should read Cradle. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah. And once you do, Mercy here will manifest the toy icon.
Oh my goodness. Uh, oh my gosh, I want to reread the series eventually. I like okay, so Wheel of Time, right? It's like 40-hour books, but I have read through the series like 3 times at least. 3 times. Yes, I have. I'm
so
sorry.
much.
That's
so much.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
There's like a series from when I was young, like it's called Enchanted Forest Chronicles, which is really great, like for like a kids or younger audience. And I like read through that like 10 times already.
Yeah, like
I'm a rereader.
I went through Wheel of Time also like on Bard Mobile, and it was so annoying whenever they switched to a new narrator.
No. You cannot read Wheel of Time if you don't read the Michael Kramer and Kate Redding all the way from first book to the last book.
That's 14 credits I'll have to go through again, like that when I've already gone those books. Okay,
I'll send it to you. A fun series is also Xanth. Oh, it's like have you read Xanth?
I need to finish it. Yeah. I stopped with Grundy's book. I could never get past Grundy's book.
Really? Yeah. That was kind of, I think that if I remember right, that was kind of hard. So there's like this author, right? Piers Anthony, or is it Anthony Pierce?
Yeah, Piers Anthony.
Is it Piers Anthony? Okay, yeah. He writes the Incarnation series, which is also really good. And the Xanth, and it's like this land of puns. So like there's like pie trees, right? Is it trees or pie plants? Pie.
Like
I can't remember.
like one of the examples I like to use is like he'll have butterflies, and
and
they're literally sticks of butter that fly.
Yes, and like and then the what is it? Nightmares are actually mares that bring dreams.
Yeah, horses. They're horses.
Yeah, they're horses.
That bring nightmares to your dreams.
Yeah, and then like tulips is like a flower that it's
Oh my god. Though one of my favorite things is figuring out exactly how all the magical creatures came to be in the land of Xanth.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Like I read up to book maybe 27 or something.
God. Yeah.
I could send those to you too.
Yeah, because it's ongoing. Because there are even
it is.
Because there are even other authors who write other series that like connect to like the Legend of Xanth, that on by Piers Anthony. Yeah, I remember buying one of those books for my mom, and it took place in the Legends of Xanth universe, but it wasn't written by Piers Anthony. But my mom did end up liking it, although she told me about the ending and it was very weird, and I was like, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
But
if you want, it's an adult fiction, series. So
yeah.
But it's so much fun. I love it. And like there's this one character. So everybody in the land of Xanth has a talent, right? It could be very small, talents. Right? Like dots on a wall, like making a spot on the wall.
It's a magical, some kind of magical talent.
Magical talent. Or it could be like a magician caliber talent where it's like you can control the weather, or you can create enchanted objects, or you could make magical tapestries, or you could make like inanimate objects speak and things like that, or anything in between. Anything, like absolutely anything. Oh my goodness. And it's so good. Like I love, my favorite was Castle Rugna, which is where a little kid goes back sort of in time into like a body of an older person and has an adventure. And he has the magical talent of making inanimate objects speak, and they're very disrespectful.
Yeah, the body he transfers into reminds me of the He-Man character.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with that show.
No. I'm just saying, yeah, because it's the nice thing to
Yeah,
say.
I just assumed that other people might know, not you.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually when
And
it
that's
comes
why I say
to
yeah.
usually when it comes to like shows or movie, I just assume that you don't know.
That's a
That
very,
that's a
very
safe
good
assumption.
assumption. That's
Yes.
very safe. Oh my goodness. Let's go back to the chat. Like, I'll never catch up to this chat. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. We're just here talking and talking. Okay. Julio says, Carrie, I use Read for Eloquence on my iPhone 13. Like, how is that like one of the spoken content features? I'm not sure, but that's nice. Anexa says, Keynote Gold is a terrible voice. If you've ever used Fred on the iPhone, that's what it sounds like. Ugh. Have you used? Like one day I just tapped on like every single voice available on like
Oh,
iOS.
that's a mistake.
No, it's not. It was fun. I'm like, what is this
Well, because
bubbles?
like so I remember doing that with a voice, and I accidentally, backed
Got
out
stuck.
changing it to that voice, and I didn't understand anything it was saying, and I didn't know how to get back because I couldn't understand anything it was saying.
Oh yeah, that was like bubbles. Like I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like
exactly.
what?
Yeah. Or like that one voice that was like a sing-songy voice. It was trying to sing everything. I was like,
Oh
what?
yeah,
I was like, what is this?
they're fun though.
I know they are funny as long as you don't actually back out and actually change it to that voice like I did, and you don't know how to get back because you can't understand anything you're saying, especially when you have a speech rate above like at 80 or higher, and you really don't understand anything it's saying.
Oh my goodness. Vinto says eloquence. I don't like it either. It just sounds like a robot. You just don't understand eloquence. That's all. You just don't understand it. Because he says Sarah is my favorite. Sarah? Who's Sarah? Sarah is my favorite Azure voice. Wait, how come I don't have Sarah? I need to find that voice and listen to what that sounds like. Anexa says, I don't love Ava, but I use her. I like her. She's tolerable. Like,
Tolerable.
I mean, like, I'd rather Ava than Bubbles or Fred or Deck Talk, but like, yeah. Alex sounds better than Eloquence. No, no, no. Mackenzie says I also like using NeoSpeech Julia. Oh my gosh, like the last time I used NeoSpeech was with Zoom text. Wow, that was a long time ago. Anexa says, I can't use Alex. I have a hard time understanding him. And Danny Acosta says, if you save a PDF on Google Drive and open it as a Google Doc, it's easier to copy paste into Word. Oh yeah. So I've used that before, like where you just open it with Doc. It does mess a little bit with the formatting, but I mean that can't be helped, right?
Yeah, but sometimes like the format of the PDF just needs to be changed.
Yeah, so true.
I just checked out a PDF today for work, and I was trying to navigate by paragraph, and it was one of those where it was like formatted into a way where
Look,
like
one
it was
line
broken
each.
up line by line. Yeah. So
Terrible.
even though I was narrating by
Yes.
paragraph, it was, and then also since it was done that way, like all the sentences were broken
Cut
up.
off. They were
Yeah.
cut off, and
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah. And then
annoying.
also on top of that, there was graphic with alt text, without alt text, and then
Of course.
the table of contents, like they formatted it in a way where they had like the section and then a bunch of dots going all the way across the page, and then to the right is whatever they needed, and that's the way they formatted it. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, why would you format it this way?
It's like they just copied and pasted or something. I don't know what they did. That's just so weird. Okay. Anexa says Avatar The Last Adventure is only 3 seasons. It's about 60 episodes.
Yes.
You should watch it, Carrie. Toph is also
Mhm.
my favorite representation of blindness. So like that doesn't sound like a lot. Like so am I supposed to
Yeah, you
watch
could get
the animated series?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, you could get through it pretty quickly, and then I think Joseph
Yeah.
might enjoy it as well. It's like it's a cartoon show, kind of like meant for kids, and it does
Oh,
deal with
okay.
some like adult themes, but they do it in like a kid friendly way because it was meant to be on Nickelodeon, and kid friendly show. But
I mean, I did watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z all the way through.
Cartoon Network, yeah. But yeah, oh my god, I just love Avatar, the Airbender so much. I love it.
Where okay, I'll figure out.
They
Maybe,
actually do
maybe.
have books set in that universe, but they're just not about the characters of that show.
What I need to do is like rewatch or actually watch with
People,
audio description,
yeah.
like Star Wars, because I only read the books and
the
a
the
really long
books
time
the
ago.
books don't even actually matter anymore when it comes to Star Wars because
Yeah, well,
eventually like they took all the books and they're like those aren't canon anymore, so they don't matter. Um, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, that's essentially what they did. That's essentially
Whatever.
what they did.
You know
Um,
what?
so the books don't connect with the movies or the shows anymore at all.
Okay, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then like Lord of the Rings, those are things that I do want to watch, and the Harry
Mm.
Potter one movies too, because I didn't actually watch any of those. I only read the books. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the movies are good for book movies, but the books are still better. There's
yeah.
like once you actually watch the movies, you'll be like they're good, but there's like because since they are movies, they had to cut out so much.
You know,
But the thing is,
mm,
they are making a Harry Potter show,
oh,
and they're going to be doing like a one season per book. Yeah,
still though, like one what do you call it? Season for one
Mhm.
book is kind of still like
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Depends on how many episodes, I guess too.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like
feel like Goblet of Fire is going to need the most. God, I remember when I
yeah.
first tried reading Harry Potter, I stopped reading because of Goblet of Fire, and then went back to it.
Really?
And then went back to it
Mm.
after I went blind. Yeah.
I loved Goblet of Fire. I think what I had a hard time with when I was younger is the Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, really?
I don't know why.
I didn't mind it as much as Goblet of Fire. I felt like Goblet of Fire dragged
Love
on,
Goblet
and
of
it was
Fire.
so long. I remember holding the physical book, and
Norbert.
I was just
Yeah.
like, this is like a dictionary. What am I doing?
You need to hold like Rhythm of War. That's what you need
I
to.
can't even imagine.
Okay.
Because Goblet of Fire isn't that like 30, 40 hours, and then Rhythm of War is 57 hours, so I can't even imagine.
It's almost double.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Nexus says if you have Netflix, the series is available. I don't have
Yeah.
Netflix. I only have Prime.
Mm.
Um,
It might be on there available to rent, but I'm not sure. But
mm,
yeah.
wonder if it's on YouTube.
No, not the show in its entirety. There's only clips.
No. Like YouTube to rent to like.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, but then it's not going to have audio description.
Yeah, but it will.
What do
Why
you mean it
not?
will?
Well, it should. Like, I mean, I've rented things on YouTube and it had audio description.
Oh,
I can't
really?
remember what
Because
it was.
whenever I rent something on YouTube, it didn't have
Really?
audio description. Yeah.
Oh, it's maybe it's like a newer thing. I don't know. The Sandman is amazing. I need
Yes.
to read Act 3.
Yeah, I've done like I've read I've listened to everything that's available on Audible.
Graphic audio. That's what it's called. Okay, Anexa says, have you ever listened to an adaptation of a graphic novel besides The Sandman? But I remember on Audible, it's the graphic audio. I think it's like they make
Yeah, so
the
it
thing.
was originally a graphic novel, and then they turned
Mm-hmm.
it into an audiobook for like Audible, and they got all these like celebrities involved. It's also a show as well on
Mm.
Netflix. And then but the Audible version, since they got all these like celebrities involved and everything like that, you could tell they spent a crap ton of money on it.
You know what they spent a crap ton of money on and like was terrible? Wheel
What?
of Time. Wheel of Time. I could not get past like the first episode. No, I
I
was like,
watched
"What is this?"
I watched the whole series, and I was like,
Did you really?
yeah,
Oh my gosh,
I
how?
watched the whole first season because
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted to see what they did with it, but I was like, wow, this is like moving really fast, and they changed like a whole lot. I was like,
No.
Yeah,
No.
but it was so
No.
funny because my mom, she also watched it, and she thought it was actually really interesting. I was like, you wouldn't be saying that if you read the books.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody's like, you have to watch it without thinking about the books. Well, then I'm
Mhm.
like, why is it called Wheel of Time? This is not you know what, like, I did, like, I might
That's
give it
kind of like
another try
that's just
because, like,
kind of
what Brandon said is, like, it's another turning of the wheel, right? I'm like,
I feel like that's an excuse for like
yeah.
bad movies or bad shows that are based on books.
Mhm.
Because like they could like get the creators involved to make it better. That's why the Harry Potter. That's one of the reasons that the Harry Potter movies were so well done. It's good because they kept J.K. Rowling involved.
Mhm.
And then like and then like
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with like the Percy Jackson books,
Need to
but it's
start
like
reading more of his
yeah,
and, like, yeah.
so Percy Jackson is like based on Greek mythology, and it's if the Greek gods existed in the modern times,
Okay.
and so it's a really
Wait, Percy Jackson is the name of the series?
yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
That well, it's the name of the first series because it continues and focuses on a lot of different characters, and that's the great thing about Rick Riordan, like that author, because like he has a bunch of different series, but they're like based on different mythologies. So you got Greek mythology, Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology, but all the series connect together, like as if they all exist in the same universe.
Mm.
And so it's actually really interesting. And but the thing is, like they took the series and tried making movies out of them. They only did two because they did so horribly. They did so bad. Like everyone hated them. I don't even know why they made two. And like the creator wasn't involved, and he also despised those movies. And now they're doing a show, and he's involved. He's even getting to pick the actors who play the characters in the show and everything like that. So that's
Mm.
like one thing I'm excited about. Is just like I'm just like you need to stick close to like the original like material, and
Yeah.
keep the original creators involved, because like they did the same thing with Avatar: The Last Airbender, because everyone loved that show, and the guy who tried making the live action movie, he saw his daughter watching the show, and he was like, "Oh, that's interesting. I should make a movie out of that," but didn't watch any of the show before making the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes me think of this podcast episode. Brandon Sanderson and Dan, I can't remember his last name, but they have a podcast called Intentionally Blank, which is like such a great name of it's like for a writing podcast. It's so great. And they talked about that, like adaptations and like making it like the book versus retelling it in a visual way. And it was like a really,
Mhm.
really interesting like take because like I feel like it's they were talking about how it could be like a bit of a spectrum of like how a producer, director, whatever
Mhm.
approaches it and stuff. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I just like it
And
to be like the book.
sometimes
I like it.
things just don't translate well.
Yeah.
Because like
Mhm.
I remember there like are specific scenes, and like I'll use the Harry Potter books for example. Like there are scenes like in the books, and they do not translate well to the movie. Like I remember there was like a specific scene, and it was when Harry was trying to ask Joe Chang out, right?
Mhm.
Um, After she was already going to the dance, you know, and so it was very awkward and everything, and it did not
Mhm.
translate well in the movie. I was just like,
Mm.
it was like so much better in the book, and I guess it was kind of like having to do with the actors a little bit, but still, I
Mm.
was like, they did it like word for word, line for line in the books, and
Oh.
it didn't translate
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well,
yeah,
that's
I was
because
just,
it's different because in the
mhm.
books you can see into Harry's head, you
Yeah,
know what he's thinking
yeah,
and you can't get that in
hmm,
movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
Um
it's like anime and you just hear what every character is thinking.
Oh, and Nexus, she says, I love rereading. Yay! She likes being resourceful and having fun like I do, and she likes rereading. Yay! Oh, Danny, Acosta says, "Hey, Carrie, here's my audiobook." So you can't actually post links in the live chat, but you could probably email it to me. Email at carryonaccessibility.com, and that would be awesome. Julio says, "Carrie, have you heard of C.S. Lewis? I love the Chronicles of Narnia. I read those books. Like, if you think that I read Wheel of Time, then that's crazy, dude. Like, I read the Chronicles of Narnia about 100 times. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would listen to them over and over and over and over again when I was a kid. Yep.
I've watched. I can't remember if I don't think I've watched all the movies, but yeah, I watched like
movies
the first few of them, and I can't remember if I've read the books or not. I think I remember I tried reading the first book, but I never got through it. Like I don't remember.
No, you have to start with book 2. Okay, there's it's like one of those series where you can't start at book 1. Yes.
That makes no sense.
No, because you have to read it in chronological order of how he wrote it.
What? Why does it start with book 2?
Because originally that's what he started with, and then he wrote like the backstory. So like, to me, book 1 is actually the what do you call it? Not the sequel, the prequel.
Okay.
To book 2.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you should read that.
Kind of reminds me of Star Wars movies. Because people argue, it's like, oh, you need to watch it this way, and this movie, and then this movie before you can watch these movies. And I'm just like, I was like, God, why are you? I was like, why does this have to be so confusing?
It's not that confusing. Just start with book 2. That's all. And Nexus says that, no, I'm not you. I've watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z at least 3 times. Wow.
Same
Dragon, like, I can
Same
see
here.
Dragon Ball, right? Like, I've watched that probably 2 or 3 times. But Dragon Ball Z, it's like just a bunch of screaming, a lot of episodes. And it's like,
that's pretty much most of it. Because like, they scream a lot, like even in Dragon Ball when they fight, and then when he
no.
and
It's
then
like,
also when Goku learns Kamehameha Wave, he always yells it,
no,
then
it's not the
everyone
yelling.
always yells their attacks, all their attacks. Everyone yells their attacks. Okay, don't tell me there's not yelling in Dragon Ball. Okay,
no, there is, but like, come on, Z, really? Like, it's like half of the series, if that, is like just powering up.
Yeah, because they have to spend an episode or 2 powering up before they fight.
Like the battle between like Frieza and Goku.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
It's like, are you serious right now?
Yes, I know.
Oh my goodness.
I love all of it. There's a reason I have a Dragon Ball Z tattoo, okay?
Oh my gosh. Nexus says the Harry Potter movies are fine. The Prisoner of Azkaban movie got me really mad. It's my favorite book, and in my opinion, they messed up the adaptation by skipping such an important part. Now I'm curious.
That's how I feel about Half-Blood Prince. Because like Half-Blood Prince was like a really good book, and then they kind of like ruined the whole thing, like when translating it to a movie.
Yeah. Alexa says, for example, anime, not you. She keeps hearing her name. For example, anime tends not to translate well to live action. It's why so many live action adaptations are terrible.
Like the live action Dragon Ball movie, it was the worst movie, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's like right up there with the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. They're about on the same level of horribleness. Like I can't tell you which one is worse, but they're like right up there with the most horrible movies I've ever watched. I'm just like, I was like, these should not exist.
Okay, this is wrong. We're doing something wrong. We keep talking about movies, and we're like, this is a book live stream. We're supposed to talk about books.
can't help it if we go off on a tangent. That it started from books. Okay, don't blame me. And some of the books, like, they turn into other forms of media, so you can't help it.
I guess so.
Because like even anime like was originally based on manga, which is like Japanese comic books.
Yeah, let's see. Like I used to be super into anime when I was younger. When I could dedicate hours and hours and hours and hours of my life just like staring at a screen.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah. I watched. Oh, my favorite was Rurouni Kenshin. Like for
Yes,
a
I know. I
while.
remember you telling me.
For a while, all my
Yeah.
passwords had Kenshin something something.
I do love Rurouni Kenshin. Actually,
Did not like the movie, the live action movie. Oh,
I never got to see it.
Hmm.
I will say the movie that ended the show was like super depressing, and I don't know why they ended it that way.
I don't know why. The Samurai X, I think. Are you talking about Samurai X?
I can't
or a different
remember.
one.
I just know that the movie that ended the show, it was the ending of the show. It was a movie, the anime movie, and like they ended it like so in such a depressing way. I'm like, why would you end it this way?
Yeah, but I prefer books. Just give me more books. If anybody has book recommendations, they should totally send them to me, and they can go on my list because I'm always looking for books.
Ready Player One, He Who Fights with Monsters.
You just want me to spend all my Audible time.
It doesn't have to be Audible. I will say with Ready Player One, the Bard mobile version is actually better than the Audible version.
I really do need to start like trying Libby so that I can save more money. Because it's kind of bad. Like, I don't know. I just spend way too much on Audible. Yeah. It's like I will not spend for like movies, going to the movies, or like Netflix or Hulu or Funimation. Well, I did for a while, but Funimation or like any of those streaming platforms.
Funimation got taken over by Crunchyroll.
Yeah. And then but I will get books like yeah, that's just me. Oh my goodness. Weird, hold on. For wait. Weird opinion. I prefer the live action adaptation of Dragon Ball to the one for Avatar. I have no idea. I haven't seen either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care for either. I just wish neither of them existed because they're just so bad. So bad. And I can't believe they planned on making sequels to both of them. They're so bad.
That's like Aragon, the movie. Aragon, the books were really. I really enjoyed them when I was a kid. And I actually reread them in the past few months, and I'm like, well, you know what? These are nice and all, but like, I don't know. I was like, when I was a kid, I loved it so much. Like, I read Aragon like a whole bunch of times over and over again. But like now that I read it, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, it's like a 3-star for me. It's like good, but like,
yeah,
not great.
It's kind of like when you watch something as a kid, you loved it, and then you go back and watch it, and it's like, why did I like this?
I love the his Dark Materials. That was really nice. Did you ever read that?
No.
Oh, okay. You got to read that too. That one, The Golden Compass, and I can't remember. An Artemis Fowl. Like I recently reread that series too. That's so great. I love Artemis
I need to continue that series because I've only read the first book.
Oh, come on. It's so good.
I saw that the movie was coming out, and I heard that it was based on a book, so I went and read the first book and then watched the movie, and I was like,
the
movie's trash.
Don't watch the movie. Just listen to the book. Just read the book.
Well, the whole reason I read the first book is because I wanted to see I wanted to, get an idea of the movie, and then so I went and read the first book, and then the movie was trash. I was like, oh, it was not worth my time. But I did like the book. I really liked the book.
Yeah, the book was great. My favorite one is the Eternity Code.
Okay.
You've got to get to the third one. At least the third one. I think the
Listen,
second
I'm
book.
gonna be on Rhythm War for a while. Okay, come back to me later.
Oh my gosh, but back to Rhythm of War. It's
Mhm.
so good. I cannot wait. Because have you gotten into Navani's perspective?
Oh yeah, like I've gotten past the
It's so
prologue.
good. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. I was
It's so
like,
good.
oh, like when I was going through that, and I was like, oh, Galadar is an asshole.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So like this series, the Stormlight Archive, like the first couple of books now, it's like you've been able to see the same scene
Mhm,
through different people's experience, like in their
mhm.
perspective. And I love that. It's like the same thing, but like different each time.
I still don't know how the assassin came back.
What do you mean?
Like I don't like I know he came back, but I don't know how. Like if the god brought him back or whatever.
The guy, yeah. I can't remember the herald's name.
You know.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He brought him back like when.
Just wasn't sure because like they didn't really say it outright.
Yes, they
Uh,
did.
I don't
They
remember.
did.
I
He
don't
fell
remember.
asleep. You gotta
I
rewind.
fell asleep.
As he was falling,
Uh-huh.
from the place in the city,
Mhm.
where Kaladin defeated him. He
Yeah.
was all happy to die, and then he like was dying, and then the herald came and like brought him back to life, or
Oh,
caught
okay.
him before. Yeah, we're spoiling it. Never mind. You won't understand anyway. Never mind. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, it has been crazy.
You should not mind spoilers.
It has been an hour and 46 minutes. I told you it was going to be like an hour.
I don't mind at all.
Oh my gosh, this was just so much fun. But I think we should go ahead and wrap it up, and like I'm hoping to like maybe do this like once a month, or maybe even like
Yeah.
once every 2 months, or once a month,
Oh,
or some whatever it is.
we never told them why it was called the Dross Report.
Oh yeah. Why don't you explain?
Yeah. So in the Cradle series,
Which you guys
um
should read.
yes, one of the characters, my favorite character, his name is Dross, and he's like a little like magical AI spirit that's like super funny. Um and whenever the main character goes into battle, he does this type of report, and he'll be like battle report, and so Carrie decided to call this the Dross Report because like
It
we both.
sounds it's much better than what
Mhm.
Jared's explaining. It's so much better.
Yeah,
It's
but the
hard to explain. I mean, like,
yeah,
I couldn't
well, you'll
explain it
understand
better.
once you read the Cradle series, like you should be.
Yes, you should.
And
Everybody
that
should be reading the Cradle series.
yes, and Dross is my favorite character, so I'm really happy with the name.
Ethan and Dross are my favorite characters. I love
Mhm.
Ethan. Like I'm gonna change all my passwords to Ethan, except that I told you guys, so now I can't.
That's so funny because all my passwords are related either to my girlfriend or Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, so now we can log into all his accounts. Look at that. No,
Yeah,
just kidding.
yeah, because you know my girlfriend's name.
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
Not.
Do you remember?
You told me, didn't you? Isn't
Yes, I
it
did.
terrible
You
that
obviously don't remember, I can tell. So you still won't know my passwords, and then also you can guess as much as you want, but you won't get it.
uh,
Especially when it comes to the Avatar ones, because I make sure to add symbols and numbers as well
also
on
it
top
has
of everything
symbols and
else.
numbers.
Yes, yeah, lots of
I
different ones to sort through. So good luck.
I remember like one of my favorite series when I was younger was by Tamora Pierce,
Mhm.
and there was like the thief the king of the thieves. His name was George Cooper,
Mhm.
and like he eventually married. Well, like so, I'm just gonna spoil it because I'm gonna spoil it. So there's like this girl. Oh, it's in the beginning. So like there's this girl, and she has like a twin brother, and so like in that world they have magic, obviously. And girls always go like girls of nobles go to convents, right? And then like the boys, the firstborn boy always goes to court to become a knight, right? And so they're twins, and so like the boy really wants to do magic, and the girl she wants to become a knight, and so they switch places. And so she like it's kind of like a Mulan thing, right? But
Okay, yeah.
she hides that she I want to go reread those books now. Like it's just so nice. And it's called, the first book is Alana the First Adventure. And like she goes and becomes a page, and she like hides her being a girl until she becomes a knight. Only a few people know. And like
Okay.
George Cooper was like one of my favorite characters. He's like the king of thieves, whatever. And like all my passwords for like the longest time was like George something 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 George. It's like I don't know. I base everything on books. Yeah. Yeah. So that's like a
Makes
long
sense.
explanation.
Makes sense.
Oh my gosh, there's just so many good books, and I just wish I could like read them all. I want to try to do Dune too. Dune. And
Oh
try
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I just have so many books on my reading
Yeah.
list.
I also need to watch the movies. My family keeps on telling me I need to watch the movies.
See, I'm glad I only have a book list, because at least like,
But
Oh
we
my
are going to
goodness.
make you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender at some point.
Okay. Another really good book is the Grace Year. I've never heard of that one. And Julio says, "Nice meeting you, Carrie." Oh, nice meeting you too. Yeah, I just love like live chatting. This is almost always so much fun. And then Mackenzie says you should watch Dune. No, I don't want to have a movie list. I already have a long enough reading list. I will not.
I mean,
Oh my goodness.
just add it to your watch list.
Like on Discord.
Along with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, on Discord, Molly, she keeps wanting to like tie me down, make me watch movies. I'm just like, no. Can I watch it from under my rock? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to like tie you down.
No, because I'll be like, pause the movie. Pause it, I
No,
can't watch.
we're emit spiritual pressure and like have you stay there.
No. Oh my goodness. Mackenzie says read. Okay, I should read Dune. But yeah, that's like still on my to-do list. And then like my to read list. And then there's a series that my friend wants me to read called The Master of War. And it's more historical fiction, which I sometimes read, and like it's just so dark. I'm like, I can't handle this. I can't handle how dark this is. It's like from the medieval times.
That kind of reminds me of like Pride and Prejudice and zombies. I'm just like I wouldn't read Pride and Prejudice, but I'll read Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
No, Pride and Prejudice is a great book. What are you saying? And the 6-hour movie is great too. That's one I read.
I can't get through it. I fell asleep in both, like the book and the movie, and I was just like, but like when it came to Pride and Prejudice and zombies, I was like, oh yeah, I'm into this.
No, like me and my sister watched the 6-hour version. Like it's like the mini series, BBC mini series. So good. We watched it like I don't know how many times, and it's just amazing.
My
amazing.
parents are all about that too. Like they love it, and I'm just like, yeah, this puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I love Pride and Prejudice, and I also I don't like it as much as Pride and Prejudice, but I read Jane Eyre.
Oh, okay.
Which is like probably not a lot of people have read that, but it's really good too. It's like an older one. And I did used to read like a lot of Charles Dickens
Mm-hmm.
when I was younger. And
Yeah.
then like, oh, I remember when I went, okay, so you know how we had like the 4-track player thing, cassette player from the library?
Yeah.
My dad would get books and then I would get books and I would steal his books and read them because I wanted to read them. And so that's how I read like The Count of Monte Cristo in like elementary school.
Never read it, but I watched the movie.
Okay. It's like I didn't understand everything that was going on, but I could follow enough that I kept reading. And I was like, "Oh, this is such a great book." That's how I got into reading,
I
just like
just
listening to my
know
dad's books.
I just know in the movie, I think it was like one of the more modern versions of it, but one of the actors in it, he was like really young, and now he is playing Superman, like in the movies.
Oh, Alexis is asking, what the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, like what's the name of the book?
No, that's literally the name.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Pride and Prejudice is zombies. They basically just
Wow.
take the book and insert zombies into.
That just ruins a good book.
It makes it
Oh my
way
god.
better,
No, it
entertaining.
does not.
Yes,
It
it does. It's
ruins
so
it.
good.
That's terrible.
It's great. It's
Like
awesome.
imagine putting zombies in Cradle. Oh, actually,
Yeah,
that would be kind
it
of
makes
cool.
it really badass because all the characters become zombie hunters and they go out and kill zombies and stuff like that. It's awesome.
It's like Mercy's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're already dead, but I'm gonna kill you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you're talking about yourself.
Yeah. I don't like Charles Dickens. I read one of his books. I had to go to Wikipedia halfway through because I didn't understand it. Yeah. I don't know. I liked it. And then I also really liked some of Shakespeare's works. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like everybody was complaining in high school about like Shakespeare and like they didn't understand it and it didn't make any sense. And I'm like, I love it. This is so great. Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of made myself do it because everybody didn't like it. And I'm like, I'm going to understand this if it kills me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but we were going to end before. But thank you, everybody. I don't just keep talking. Oh my goodness. But thank you, everybody, for joining. It was
Thank you.
so much fun. And thank you, Jared, for joining me. And we'll do it again.
Yeah.
All right, you guys take care.
Bye.
Bye.